Anthony Gismondi from Gismondi on Wine, and I'm excited to talk to you today about the 44th Vancouver International Wine Festival. Joining me is the Executive Director, Harry Hertschag, and this year's keynote speaker, Master Sommelier Evan Goldstein. Harry, we'll start with you because everybody's always interested in the theme of the festival. What can you tell us about this year?
We've been itching to do this theme since 2020 when we announced it, and we finally get to do the continent of South America. Now, I know a lot of people think of Chile and Argentina as the go-to countries, and we've been fortunate over the last several years to also have some wineries from Uruguay. But this year, we're going to also have a winery from Brazil and some wine from Peru and Bolivia. Now, there's a lot more countries in South America, but we've got also a master sommelier who's going to give us the spotlight on South America.
Yeah, it sounds like you have enough wineries from South America. We look forward to that. And Evan, you're coming up. You're going to be giving a keynote speech to the trade, but I thought it'd be interesting maybe for some highlights for the consumers who will be attending the festival may not hear you at the trade tasting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it sounds like Herrick should be doing this presentation. He's so well versed on it. But the point is exactly that. When most people think of South America, they think of it in a very limited view. There are actually 12 independent countries that make up the South American continent. But what most people know is that 10 of them actually produce wine, which is extraordinary. And that makes it actually the second most important wine continent after Europe. And yes, there are the two biggies in Argentina and Chile, but collectively the next sort of, for lack of better words, tier down of Brazil and Uruguay make up sort of the remainder of the big four. But we're going to actually have wines from Peru and some wines from Bolivia, and we're going to look across things continentally. And I think that's what's most important. And it'll literally probably begin with a bit of how the grape got there. Grapes are not native to South America. They arrived in the 15th century, and we'll spend a little bit of time on that. And when the grapes arrived there, believe it or not, I know this is going to shock you, it wasn't Cabernet Sauvignon and Chardonnay, but they started with their own groups of grapes called Criolla grapes, and we'll talk about those. We'll talk about how they spread across the continent. And then, of course, we'll go through individual countries and speak a little bit to the history of the countries and a little bit to the individual wines, grape varieties, have some tastings, and we're going to be blessed with the presence of several notable luminaries who will actually be coming in from their various countries to represent their countries, participate on the panels, talk about their wines, and be involved in the tastings.
Well, Evan, we know a little bit about Carmenere from Chile. We know about Malbec from Argentina, maybe Tanat from and Albarino from Uruguay. What about Brazil? What can we expect?
Well, what you're not going to get is soccer, barbecue, beer, and cachaça. We will not be giving you that. But there are actually a number of wines made in Brazil. Most of Brazil's wine industry is actually located in a single state, the fine wine industry, that is, called Rio Grande do Sul, or Rio Grande of the South. And in one particular area, the Serra Gaúcha, the gaucha being sort of the cowboy thing that then builds into the pampa of Argentina and things like that. So there's common wine, Vinho Común, which, believe it or not, this is going to sound counterintuitive, and it's actually true in Uruguay as well, are made from American grapes. So Niagara, Isabella, Bordeaux, etc. And then there's what they call Vinho Fino, or fine wine. And the fine wine is what's driven by classic, what we would call vinifera varieties. And there's the Cabernets and the Merlots and things like that, of Merlot, which is their strongest suit grape down there for a red. But we'll also spend a little bit of time talking about what gives them their sort of signature flair. And of course, that is their incredibly large range and high quality sparkling wines.
Harry, you're the numbers guy. Maybe how many wineries are at the festival this year? How many from South America? And will there be some regional tasting stations as well?
We've got 148 wineries from 17 countries, including the 4, of course, from South America. 42 wineries in all featured from South America. And we have a South America tasting station where we're going to feature some wines from all of those 6 countries mentioned. And we also have a global focus this year on sparkling wines from around the world. So we're going to also have a sparkling wine tasting station, and also New Zealand, Rioja, and California will have their tasting stations. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, tasting in daylight. Evan, just before we go, you and I are going to be doing a big tasting on Saturday night that is entitled the Creme de la Crema. What's the premise there? What can people expect in that tasting?
Well, this is always, and being privy now to attend the festival a couple of times, this is a beloved event. This is really the cream of the crop, or in this case, the crema de la crema of wines. And we'll have a handful of really exceptional top tier wines from across the South American continent. In this case, from the Big Four, with representative wines from Brazil, in actually one of the most iconic wines of Brazil, Miolo's Lote 43, or Lote 43. We'll have some of the leaders across Chile, including Santa Rita's Peón and Carmen's Delans. We'll also have great wines from Argentina, including some fabulous offerings from Salentin and Norton, etc. And all of these wines will be very much in the highest of high, so the top tier, the cru wines, if you will, of this part of the world. Very exceptional wines, some very exciting bottles to look forward to trying.
Okay, Harry, one last thing. How do we get there? How do we get into the room? How does it work?
All the information is at vanwinefest.ca. Hey, and if you're from out of town, somewhere else in the province of British Columbia, or in the US or across Canada, book a hotel room through stayvancouverhotels.com, get a free ticket, get all this access to wine at no charge. There's 36 events. The best thing to do is go to the website, vanwinefest.ca, and check out Festival at a glance. All the events are there. The winery dinners on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, the Bacchanalia Gala that kicks off the festival, the seminars, the lunches. Click on the event you're interested in. All the information is there. Let's get excited about South America and the 44th. Tony, you were at the first one. You've been to every single one.
Yeah,
we're just going to keep this thing going.
Okay, listen, you can look for our tasting notes, stories, and videos, all that featuring winemakers on GismondiOnWine.com before, during, and after the festival. And if you don't want to miss a thing, subscribe to our free monthly newsletter, GismondiOnWine.com/subscribe. See you all at the festival. See you, Evan. See you, Harry. Can't wait.
Me too.